I pushed open the front door, rubbing my eyes after a long shift, already dreaming of collapsing into my bed. But the moment I stepped inside, I heard voices coming from the master bedroom, my bedroom. I paused in the hallway, confused, because Emily wasn't supposed to have anyone over. The voices were low, one of them unfamiliar. My chest tightened as I walked toward the room. When I opened the door, I froze. A young man stood beside my bed, my side of the bed, unpacking a small duffel bag like he had lived here for months. He looked up at me with this soft, almost innocent expression, but something in his eyes didn't match the rest of his face. Before I could speak, Emily stepped beside him and said, "Ethan, please don't overreact. He has nowhere else to stay." I stared at her, trying to understand. "Emily, who is he, and why is he unpacking on my bed?" The guy smiled awkwardly. "Hey man. Sorry if this is weird. I'm Liam. Thank you for letting me stay." "I didn't let you stay," I replied, looking at Emily again. "Why didn't you talk to me first?" She sighed like I was the difficult one. "Ethan, he's been going through a lot. I told you about the student I sponsor, remember? This is him." "That was supposed to be financial help," I said. "Not this." Liam stepped back, clutching a hoodie. "I really don't want to cause trouble. If it makes you uncomfortable, I can." Emily cut him off. "No, Liam, you're fine. Ethan is just surprised." "Surprised?" I repeated. "Emily, someone is standing in our bedroom. On our bed. With his things. This isn't surprise. This is, what is this?" She folded her arms. "It's temporary. He needed a safe place, and I wasn't going to let him sleep on the street." I shook my head slowly. "Why the master bedroom? Why not the guest room?" She hesitated, then said, "The guest room mattress is too firm. He has back issues, Ethan." I blinked. "So you gave him my bed?" "Our bed," she corrected, like that somehow made it better. Liam spoke again, voice soft. "I really don't want to come between you two." "You already are," I said without meaning to. Emily stepped toward me. "Ethan, he's scared. Look at him. Don't make him feel unwelcome." I laughed quietly, disbelieving. I came home from work and found a stranger living in my bedroom. "I think I'm allowed to feel something." She glared. "This is exactly why I didn't tell you earlier. You always react emotionally." "I react like a person whose boundaries matter," I replied. Liam lifted his bag. "Seriously, I can sleep on the floor if that helps." "No," Emily insisted. "You need proper rest. Ethan, stop making this harder than it needs to be." I looked directly at her. "Did you even consider how this would make me feel?" She looked away. That was my answer. I stepped farther into the room, examining the site of my pillows moved, the blanket folded differently, Liam's belongings scattered across the foot of the bed. My bed looked wrong. Like someone had replaced my life without asking. "Emily," I said quietly, "why didn't you talk to me? Even a text." "I knew you'd say no," she whispered. "So you decided for me?" She didn't speak. I turned to Liam. "How long are you staying?" He glanced at Emily first, which irritated me more. "Just until things settle down for me." Emily said I could take a few days to recover. "A few days?" I repeated. "From what?" Emily stepped in again. "Ethan, stop interrogating him. I'm asking basic questions," I said. "This is my home too." Liam lowered his gaze. "I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to cause tension. Emily told me you'd understand." I exhaled sharply. She shouldn't have spoken for me. Emily snapped. "Ethan, enough. He's staying. End of discussion." Her tone hit me harder than I expected. Something inside me cracked. Quiet, small, but deep. "So this is just happening," I said. "Without my say." "Yes," she answered. I stared at her, searching for the woman I trusted. But I didn't find her. Liam whispered, "I appreciate this more than you know." Emily touched his arm gently. "You're safe here." That tiny gesture felt like a punch to my ribs. I swallowed hard. Right. Well, welcome, Liam. Make yourself comfortable. Seems like you already have. He looked guilty, but not guilty enough. I stepped back toward the hallway. I need air. Emily called after me, "Don't make this dramatic." But everything inside me already was. When I closed the bedroom door behind me, I knew something had shifted. Not just in the room, inside me. Something I didn't know how to fix. I lay awake in the cramped guest room, staring at the ceiling while my pillow felt like a brick. I kept replaying Emily's voice in my head saying, "He needs the comfort, Ethan. Stop making this about you." Every time I heard it, my stomach tightened. In the morning, I stepped into the hallway and found Liam walking out of the master bedroom stretching like he had slept better than anyone deserved. He smiled at me. "Morning, Ethan." "Morning," I muttered. Emily appeared behind him with 2 mugs. "Liam, I made you tea. You said it helps your back." He thanked her softly. I watched them talk like they had known each other for years instead of hours. When Emily noticed my stare, she frowned. "Please don't start the day with tension." "I'm just standing here," I said. "You're judging," she replied. Before I could answer, my phone rang. Ryan's name popped up. I stepped outside to answer. "Mate," he said the moment I picked up, "I still can't believe what you told me. This is not normal. Wake up." I leaned against the railing. "She says it's temporary." Ryan scoffed. "And you believe that?" "I don't want to lose her," I whispered. "You'll lose yourself first," he said. "Tell her to put him in the guest room." I laughed bitterly. "I'm in the guest room." Ryan cursed under his breath. "Ethan, this is insane. No one lets another man sleep in their bedroom." "I know," I said softly, "but she's convinced he needs the space." "More than you?" he asked. The question stung. I had no answer. After the call, I went back inside. Liam and Emily were sitting at the kitchen table. Liam was telling some story about his old neighborhood, and Emily laughed like he was the funniest person she had ever met. When he noticed me, he waved. "Ethan, you should have heard the part about the neighbor's cat stealing my shoes." Emily added, "He has the wildest stories." I forced a smile. "Great." Liam leaned back confidently. "I was thinking of taking a shower soon. Emily said I could use the master bathroom." I looked at her. "Did she?" Emily folded her arms. "It's closer to him. His back hurts in the mornings." I felt the weight of her words slam into me again. "Right. Of course." Liam stood. "Thanks again for letting me stay. I really appreciate it." I didn't answer. I just stepped aside as he walked past me like he had lived here forever. Emily exhaled sharply. "You're being cold." "I'm trying," I said. "But he's everywhere." "He's scared, Ethan. He needs stability." I almost laughed. "Then why am I the one sleeping in the guest room?" She shook her head. "Please don't twist this." "I'm not twisting anything," I said. "I'm just trying to understand where I fit in this house now." Her silence told me I didn't want the answer. Hours passed with Liam moving freely through the place, opening cabinets, checking the fridge, humming in the hallway. He spoke to Emily casually, leaning on counters, discussing dinner ideas, giving opinions about decor like he had authority. Each moment tightened something inside me until I felt like I was shrinking, becoming smaller in my own home. At one point, Liam walked past me and said, "If you ever want the master room back, just say so." "I don't want to intrude." Emily immediately jumped in. "No. Liam. You're fine." I waited for her to say I mattered too. She didn't. My throat tightened. "I need some air." Emily said, "Ethan, you can't keep running away every time you feel uncomfortable." "I'm suffocating," I said. "Well," she replied softly, "maybe try harder." Her words settled in my chest like stones. That night, I lay in the guest bed again, listening to muffled voices from the master bedroom. I couldn't hear the words, only the rhythm of their comfort. My silence wrapped around me like a rope, pulling tighter every second. By midnight, I finally admitted the truth. I wasn't just sleeping in the guest room. I was becoming a guest in my own life. And that realization terrified me more than anything before. I was heading toward the living room when I heard Liam's voice drifting from the kitchen. I stopped before turning the corner. "Thanks for trusting me more than anyone," he said. My breath caught. Emily answered softly, "You deserve it." My heart dropped so hard I felt dizzy. I stepped closer, just enough to see them. Liam leaned on the counter, smiling like he belonged there. Emily stood across from him, mirroring the smile I hadn't seen directed at me in weeks. Liam chuckled. "Honestly, I didn't think you'd stand up for me like that." "You needed support," she said. "I could see it." "I don't know what I'd do without you," he replied. I clenched my jaw. Emily nudged him playfully. "Stop being dramatic." They both laughed, the kind of laughter people share when they're comfortable, too comfortable. I listened as they exchanged inside jokes, ones I had never heard before. I felt like I was intruding on a world they had built quietly while I wasn't looking. I stepped into the kitchen. "What's going on?" Emily turned. "Oh, Ethan. We were just talking." Liam waved casually. "Hey, man." I forced myself to speak calmly. "I heard what you said." Emily frowned. "About what?" "About trust," I said. "And deserving things." Liam straightened. "I didn't mean anything weird by it." Emily's voice sharpened. "Are you eavesdropping now?" "I walked in and heard it," I said. "You're twisting things again," she replied. "I'm asking," I said, "because it didn't sound innocent." Emily crossed her arms. "Ethan, you're being jealous again. Stop acting insecure." The words hit like a slap. Jealous. I'm trying to understand why he feels more trusted here than I do. Liam said quietly, "I didn't mean to cause tension. I just appreciate her." "You appreciate her a lot," I said. Emily snapped, "Ethan, enough. You're making something out of nothing." I took a breath. "I'm not angry. I'm confused." She sighed loudly. "No, you're jealous. It's the same thing every time." "Every time," I repeated. "Emily, this wasn't a pattern until he showed up." Liam lifted his hands. "Maybe I should leave the kitchen." Emily shook her head. "No. You stay. Ethan and I will sort this out." That hurt more than anything else. "Why does he get to stay every time I walk in?" "Because you come in ready to argue," she said. "I'm ready to talk," I replied. "You're ready to accuse," she corrected. I stared at her. "I'm asking you to look at this from my side." She didn't blink. "I am. And you're being unreasonable." I stepped closer. "Emily, he thanked you for trusting him more than anyone." "Why would he say that?" "Because I helped him," she answered. "He feels safe with me." "And what about me?" I asked. She hesitated. "This isn't about you." "It feels like it is," I said quietly. Liam shifted. "I don't want to be in the middle of this." "You are in the middle," I said. "You live in our room." Emily shot me a cold look. "Stop attacking him." "I'm not attacking him," I replied. "I'm trying to understand why the dynamic here suddenly changed." She ran a hand through her hair. "Ethan, please stop. I'm tired of repeating myself. You're insecure." My self-esteem cracked again, like something fragile dropped on tile. "I'm insecure because everything feels different." Emily's voice softened, but not kindly. "This jealousy will ruin us." "Jealousy isn't the issue," I said. "Feeling replaced is." Liam whispered, "I don't want to replace anyone." I turned to him. "Then why does it feel like you already did?" Emily slammed a drawer shut. "Ethan, this is exactly why I didn't want conflict. You're spiraling." "I'm reacting," I said. "There's a difference." "You always react," she snapped. I swallowed hard. "Emily, do you even hear yourself?" She looked away. I stepped back. "I don't know what's happening between you two, but I can feel it." "There's nothing happening," she insisted. "Then why does it hurt so much to watch you talk to him?" She didn't answer. I whispered, "Is this really happening to me?" Emily exhaled. Ethan, please. Just stop overthinking. But the moment I heard her say, "You deserve it," I knew it wasn't overthinking. It was the truth shifting beneath my feet. I walked into the living room to grab my jacket when I saw Liam's phone on the sofa, screen glowing with a new notification. I wasn't planning to touch it, but the message preview was impossible to ignore. "Your plan is working. Keep pushing. She will let go of him soon." My heart stopped. I stared at the words, unable to breathe. "What plan?" I whispered. "Let go of who?" "Me." I reached toward the screen, not to open it, just to make sure I hadn't imagined the message. My finger hovered over the phone, my pulse hammering in my ears. Suddenly, footsteps rushed toward me. "What the hell are you doing?" Liam barked. I jerked back as he snatched the phone from the sofa like it was a live grenade. "I wasn't touching it," I said. I saw the message pop up. His eyes narrowed. For the first time, he didn't look shy or gentle. He looked amused, confident, almost proud. He leaned closer and whispered, "Mind your own business." My stomach twisted. What does that message mean? He smirked. "Wouldn't you like to know?" I stepped forward. "Liam, who sent that? What plan are they talking about?" He tucked the phone into his pocket. "You shouldn't be snooping around. Bad habit." "I wasn't snooping," I snapped. "Your phone lit up." I looked. "Same thing," he said, shrugging. "Maybe stop lurking around the house." "This is my house," I hissed. He chuckled. "Not from where I'm standing." I stared at him, stunned. "So you are trying to push Emily away from me?" He smirked again but didn't answer. That silence said everything. Emily walked in just then, holding a bowl of fruit. "What's going on?" Before I could speak, Liam sighed loudly. He was going through my phone. My mouth fell open. I wasn't going through it. Emily cut me off instantly. "Ethan, are you serious? You checked his phone." "I didn't check anything," I said. His message popped up and... She raised her voice. "You invaded his privacy." "No," I said, stepping toward her. "Listen to me. Someone texted him about a plan. A plan to make you let go of me." Emily froze. "What are you talking about?" "Read the message," I said. "Tell him to show you." Liam shook his head and looked hurt. "Emily, I don't know what he saw. He probably misread something." "I didn't misread it," I insisted. "Show her the message, Liam." He held the phone tighter. "It was personal." Emily turned to me angrily. "Ethan, stop. You're accusing him again. This is exactly what I meant when I said you're becoming paranoid." "I'm not paranoid," I said. "I'm trying to protect us." She shot back, "By spying on people?" "I didn't spy," I said, voice shaking. "I'm telling you the truth." Liam whispered, "I feel so uncomfortable right now. I can't believe he would do that." Emily touched his arm. "I'm sorry, Liam. You shouldn't have to deal with this." I stared at her hand on him. "So you're taking his side?" "I'm taking the side of the person whose privacy you violated," she said. "And what about the message?" I asked. "You're not even curious." She glared at me. "I'm curious why you keep attacking him." "I'm attacking him?" I repeated. "Emily, someone literally said he has a plan to separate us." Liam shook his head. "This is getting insane. Maybe I should leave." "No," Emily said firmly. "You're not the problem here." I felt something inside me split open. "So I am." She didn't answer. I tried again. "Emily, please. I need you to hear me." That message sounded dangerous. She crossed her arms. "Dangerous? He's a student, Ethan. He's not plotting anything." "He smiled when I confronted him," I said. "Ask him why." "Ethan," she said sharply, "stop trying to twist everything." "I'm not twisting anything," I shouted. "I'm trying to save our relationship." She stepped back like my voice had pushed her. "You're making a mess out of nothing. I'm tired of this." Liam sighed. "Emily, Maybe I should explain. No, I said. Let him show you the message. Then let's talk. Emily looked at Liam. Is there something you need to explain? He lowered his head dramatically. Just private things I don't want him reading. She softened immediately. You don't owe him an explanation. I stared in disbelief. So he gets privacy, but I don't get answers? She looked directly at me. Right now. No. You don't. That sentence hit harder than everything else. I whispered. You choose him over me. Emily's voice cracked. I choose respect, Ethan. Something you've forgotten. I looked at Liam. He smiled faintly, the victorious kind of smile someone hides behind a lowered chin. That was the moment something inside me broke. I walked past them without another word, because if I stayed any longer, I wasn't sure what would come out of me. And for the first time, I realized I might already be losing her. Emily stood in the doorway with her arms tight across her chest. Ethan, I think you should leave for a few days. I stared at her. Leave? Why? To clear your head, she said calmly. You're spiraling, and it's hurting everyone. Behind her, Liam stood with his arms crossed, looking like he'd already won something. His silence felt louder than any words. I pointed at him. So he stays, and I go. Emily sighed. Please don't make this dramatic. I'm being kicked out of my own home, I said. How am I supposed to react? Liam spoke softly, fake sympathy dripping from every word. Maybe some space will help you, man. You seem really stressed. Don't pretend you care, I snapped. Emily raised her voice. Ethan, stop. You're making things worse. I swallowed hard. If you ask me to leave, it won't fix what's happening. It will give us time to breathe, she insisted. Right now, everything you say turns into a fight. Because nothing makes sense anymore, I replied. She shook her head. Pack a bag. Stay with Ryan. Cool off. Liam added quietly, it might help. I glared at him. I wasn't talking to you. Emily stepped in front of him protectively. Enough. Just go pack. The finality in her voice crushed something inside me. I walked to the bedroom, our bedroom, and stopped at the doorway. Liam's clothes still hung off the chair. My pillow was tossed aside. The room didn't feel like mine. As I packed, Emily appeared behind me. Please don't take this as me choosing sides. It feels exactly like that, I said without turning. I'm trying to keep peace, she replied. There is no peace when the person you trust pushes you out, I said. She didn't respond. I zipped my bag slowly, feeling like every sound echoed too loud. How long am I supposed to stay away? A few days, she whispered. And then what? I come back to what? We'll talk when you're calmer, she said. I turned to her. I'm calm now. I'm hurt, but I'm calm. She looked away. I just need you gone for a bit. Liam's voice floated down the hall. Emily, you okay? She called back. I'm fine. My chest tightened. He gets to stay here and check on you, but I don't. Ethan, please, she said. Don't twist this. I'm not twisting anything, I replied. I'm watching it happen. With my bag on my shoulder, I walked toward the door. Liam leaned against the wall, smirking softly. Hope things get better for you. I stepped closer. One day, you'll regret what you're doing. He shrugged. Maybe. But today isn't that day. I clenched my fists, but Emily stood between us. Go, Ethan. Please. I nodded weakly and opened the door. As I stepped out, Mr. Jonathan Hale, our landlord, was walking down the hallway. He paused when he saw my bag. Leaving so soon? He asked quietly. Apparently, I need to clear my head, I muttered. Jonathan sighed. I warned Emily about getting too close to this boy, but she didn't listen. I looked at him sharply. You warned her. He nodded. I've seen trouble before. It always starts with kindness and ends with control. I swallowed. You think he's controlling her? I think he's not what he pretends to be, Jonathan said softly. Be careful, Ethan. His words hit me harder than I wanted to admit. Thank you. He patted my shoulder. You're not crazy, son. Some things don't feel right because they aren't right. I exhaled shakily. I hope she realizes that. She will, he said. But maybe too late. I left the building with my heart feeling heavier than my bag. The walk to Ryan's place felt endless. Every step echoed with everything I'd lost in a single day. When Ryan opened the door, he didn't ask anything. He just looked at me and said, "Mate, what happened now?" I dropped the bag and sank onto his sofa. She told me to leave. Ryan cursed under his breath. She kicked you out? Yes, I whispered. He sat beside me. Ethan, I'm sorry. I really am. And that was it. The moment the truth finally broke through whatever strength I'd been pretending to have. I covered my face with my hands, and for the first time in years, I broke down completely. I was sitting on Ryan's sofa, staring at the wall, when my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something in me said to answer. Hello, I said. A quiet voice replied, Ethan, it's Chloe. I sat up straight. Chloe, why are you calling from a different number? I can't use my phone, she whispered. Emily checks it sometimes when she's anxious. I didn't want her to know I talked to you. My stomach tightened. Why would she need to check your phone? She doesn't trust herself right now, Chloe said. Or Liam. Or you. Or anyone. I rubbed my forehead. Chloe, please just tell me what's going on. She hesitated, then said, Emily has been emotionally attached to Liam for months. I felt my chest drop. What do you mean attached? She's been trying to save him, Chloe said. She feels responsible for him, for his past, his struggles, everything. He plays into it. He knows exactly how to talk to her. I closed my eyes. So he used her guilt. Yes, Chloe whispered. He made her feel like she was the only one who could protect him. He made her believe she owed him something. I swallowed hard. Why didn't she tell me? Because she knew you'd see through him, Chloe said. Emily isn't evil. She's just weak. And weak people destroy the ones who love them. Those words hit harder than I expected. She pushed me out of my home for him. I know, Chloe said softly. And she hates herself for it, but she won't admit it yet. I paced the room. Does she even realize he's manipulating her? No, Chloe answered. Liam is subtle. He plays the victim perfectly. He makes her feel like you're hurting him just by existing. I let out a humorless laugh. Then he's winning. Only because you keep trying to be understanding, she said. You love too deeply. It blinds you. I leaned against the wall. I don't know what to do anymore. Step back, she said. Let her see the truth without you rescuing her every time she slips. I sighed. Chloe, thank you. I needed honesty. You deserve it, she said. And Ethan, don't blame yourself. This started long before you saw it. When the call ended, I sat there for a long time, hearing her words over and over. Weak people destroy the ones who love them. Ryan walked into the living room. You okay? No, I said. But I think I finally understand what's happening. He sat beside me. Talk to me. Emily didn't fall for him, I said. She fell for his story. He used her guilt to pull her in. Ryan nodded slowly. Makes sense. You've always tried to fix people too. I know, I said. I thought loving hard was a strength. It is, he replied, but not when the other person uses it against you. I rubbed my eyes. I think I need help. Real help. Ryan pointed to his laptop. Look up a therapist. Someone who can guide you better than I can. His words stayed with me. Later that night, I searched online until I found a name that felt steady. Dr. Sarah Winslow. I booked an appointment for the next morning. When I walked into her office, she greeted me gently. Ethan, what brings you here? I sank into the chair. I think I've been loving people so hard that I stopped seeing them clearly. She nodded. Tell me what happened. I explained everything. Liam, Emily, the message, being told to leave. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she leaned forward. "You are not broken, Ethan. You're exhausted. You're someone who carries more than you should." "I still feel like I failed," I whispered. "You didn't fail," she said. "But you ignored warning signs because you wanted love to be stronger than human flaws." I swallowed. I didn't want to lose her. "You didn't lose her," Dr. Winslow said softly. "She drifted because she was vulnerable to manipulation. That is not your fault." I exhaled shakily. "Then what do I do now?" "Learn to choose yourself," she replied. "Build boundaries. See people for who they are, not who you hope they'll be." I nodded slowly. "It sounds simple." "It isn't," she said. "But this, what you're going through, it can be your turning point." Her words settled inside me, steady and warm. For the first time in a long time, I felt something other than fear or heartbreak. I felt clarity. I sat on Ryan's balcony, letting the cold air settle into my lungs. I had been trying to rebuild myself. Therapy, long walks, quiet mornings, but every day still felt strange without Emily. Still, I kept going. I focused on breathing, thinking, becoming someone who didn't break at every shift in someone else's mood. One afternoon, Ryan walked out holding his phone. "Ethan, you should see this." "What is it?" I asked. "It's from one of your neighbors." He handed the phone to me. The message read, "Your girlfriend's new guest is causing chaos. People are complaining." I sighed. "What happened now?" Ryan shrugged. Apparently, he yelled at a couple for using the laundry room too long. And he was seen arguing with a delivery guy. I rubbed my temples. Of course he was. Ryan looked at me closely. "Does it hurt to hear this?" "No," I said honestly. "It feels like the universe is catching up to him." Later that day, my own phone buzzed. It was Mr. Jonathan Hale. "Ethan, do you have a moment?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "What's going on?" He lowered his voice. "Your girlfriend's guest is becoming a problem. I warned her before, but now I've had 3 tenants complain." "What did he do?" I asked. "He's demanding things," Mr. Hale said. "Telling people to keep noise down. Ordering neighbors around like he owns the place." I exhaled slowly. "Sounds like him." Mr. Hale continued, "I told Emily that if this behavior continues, I'll have to issue a formal eviction notice." "Evict who?" I asked. "The boy," he said. "Not her." I nodded to myself. "Thank you for telling me." Mr. Hale added softly, "I hope you're doing better, son." "I'm trying," I said. That evening, another message came, this time from someone I didn't expect. "Emily." Her text said, "I think I made a huge mistake." I stared at the screen, the words glowing like a confession she had been swallowing for weeks. I imagined her sitting somewhere in the apartment, head in her hands, while Liam paced around controlling everything she did. Ryan peeked over my shoulder. "You gonna reply?" "No," I said. He raised an eyebrow. "Not even a, 'we'll talk later'?" I shook my head. If she wants to fix things, she'll have to face the consequences of her choices first. I can't save her from someone she chose over me. Ryan nodded. "Good. That's growth." I set my phone down and breathed out slowly. It felt strange, powerful even, to not chase after her, not jump to comfort her, not carry her pain as if it were mine. The next morning, Chloe called me again. "Ethan," she whispered, "Liam is getting worse. He told Emily she should stop going to work because her co-workers don't respect him." I let out a short, bitter laugh. "Of course he did. He also asked her for money," she added. "A lot of money." I leaned back. "Did she give it to him?" "Yes," Chloe said reluctantly. "He said he needed it to get his life together." I sighed. Karma is whispering. Chloe paused. "She's scared now, Ethan. She doesn't know how to undo this." "She started it," I said. "She let him in." "I know," Chloe replied. "But she's falling apart." I stayed quiet. "Are you angry at her?" she asked. "No," I said softly. "I'm finally detached. Later that day, Emily sent another text. "Can we talk?" I didn't answer that one either. For the first time since everything fell apart, the silence didn't hurt me. It protected me. It reminded me that my worth wasn't tied to how quickly I forgave someone who broke me. Ryan walked into the living room and smiled. "You seem different today." "I am," I said. "Why?" "Because," I whispered, "the power isn't in their hands anymore." And I meant it. Ryan and I were eating dinner when my phone buzzed. It was Mr. Jonathan Hale. "Ethan," he said, "you'll want to hear this. The boy staying with Emily, he was caught stealing packages from the other tenants." I gripped the phone tighter. "Liam, what did he take?" "Everything from groceries to electronics," Mr. Hale replied. "One tenant recorded him on camera." I exhaled slowly. "And Emily?" "She rushed out to defend him," he said, "but he didn't react the way she expected." My chest tightened. "What happened?" Mr. Hale lowered his voice. "He embarrassed her. Badly. I didn't ask for more. I just thanked him and hung up." Ryan looked at me. "What did he do now?" "He got caught stealing," I said. "And Emily tried to save him." Ryan shook his head. "She still doesn't see him." A few minutes later, Chloe called me, voice shaking. "Ethan, it happened. Everyone saw it." Liam snapped. "What did he do?" I asked. She took a breath. Emily tried to explain for him, and he shoved her aside in front of everyone. My heart lurched. "He shoved her?" "Yes," Chloe whispered. "And he told her, 'You're only useful when you listen.' Those were his exact words." I closed my eyes. "She must be devastated." "She is," Chloe said. "She ran off crying. She looked completely broken." I swallowed. "Where is Liam now?" "He stormed back inside the building, shouting about how everyone was against him," she said. "The neighbors want him out." "He should have been out the day he stepped in," I muttered. Chloe hesitated. "Ethan, she might come to you tonight. Be prepared." "For what?" I asked. "For her finally seeing the truth." After the call, I paced the living room. Ryan watched quietly before finally asking, "How do you feel?" "I don't even know," I said. "Angry, sad, numb." He nodded. "Just remember, you don't owe her anything." "I know," I said. "But part of me still remembers who she used to be." "That's the part that gets you hurt," he replied. Before I could respond, there was a knock at the door. A soft, hesitant knock I recognized instantly. I opened it slowly. Emily stood there, eyes red, mascara streaked down her cheeks. Her shoulders were trembling. "Ethan," she whispered, "please, can I come in?" I stepped aside without speaking. She walked in, arms wrapped around herself like she was holding the last pieces of her world together. She turned to me. "I ruined everything. I should have trusted you." I stared at her quietly. She continued, voice breaking. "You warned me. You tried to explain. I didn't listen." I sat down, and she sat across from me. "What happened?" I asked. She wiped her face. "He was stealing. Everyone confronted him. I tried to stand up for him, and he pushed me aside like I was nothing. I clenched my jaw but kept my voice steady. And he said something else." She nodded slowly. "He told me I was only useful when I listened. People stared at me like I was pathetic." "And what did you do?" I asked. "I walked away," she whispered. "I couldn't breathe. I couldn't believe any of it. Everything I gave him, everything I lost, for someone who never cared." Tears streamed down her face again. "Ethan, I'm so sorry. I destroyed what we had. I destroyed you." I looked at her hands shaking in her lap. "Why are you here?" "Because I had nowhere else to go," she said. "And because you're the only person who ever loved me without wanting to control me." I let her words hang in the air. She leaned forward. "Please say something. Please." I took a deep breath. "Emily, I'm sorry you're hurting. I truly am. But I can't be the person who puts you back together every time you break." She shook her head desperately. I'm not asking you to fix me. I need you to understand how wrong I was. I do understand, I said softly. I've understood for a while. She looked up at me, eyes pleading. Then can we talk about us? I held her gaze. There is no us right now. Her breath hitched. So that's it. No, I said. This is me finally choosing myself. She covered her mouth as a sob escaped. Ethan, please. I shook my head. Emily, I'm not the same person you walked over. I'm not the Ethan you could break. Her shoulders collapsed as she whispered, I wish I realized that before I lost you. I didn't answer. Because this time, silence belonged to me. Emily sat across from me, wiping her tears with trembling hands. Ethan, please, she whispered. Just hear me out. I am hearing you, I said quietly. No, you're listening, but you're not feeling what I'm saying, she cried. I know I hurt you. I know I failed you. But I can fix it. We can fix it. Just give me one more chance. I watched her break down, but for the first time, it didn't pull me under with her. Emily, I said softly, I'm not angry anymore. She looked hopeful for a split second. Then we can try again. I shook my head. No, that's not what I meant. She leaned forward. Ethan, don't do this. Please don't give up on us. I can change. I will change. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. I don't want you to change for me, I said. I want you to understand why I'm stepping away. She stared at me in panic. Because of him. Because of what he did. Ethan, I cut him out. He's gone. I told him to never come near me again. It's not about Liam anymore, I said. It's about what I allowed myself to endure. No, she whispered. It was my weakness, not yours. I made the wrong choices. I ignored you. I didn't protect us. I didn't protect you. I nodded slowly. All of that is true. She broke again. Then why can't we fix it? Because fixing it means going back, I said. And going back means repeating a pattern I barely survived. She grabbed my hand desperately. Ethan, I love you. I always loved you. I never stopped. I pulled my hand away gently. Love isn't enough when trust is gone. She shook her head violently. We can rebuild trust. It's not just trust, I said. It's respect, safety, partnership. You didn't just break those, you gave them away. She covered her face. I know I did. I'm so sorry. I'll spend the rest of my life proving it if I have to. You don't need to prove anything to me, I said softly. You need to heal, and so do I. She looked up, eyes swollen. So you're choosing to leave me? For the first time, I said, I'm choosing myself. The room fell into a heavy silence. She whispered, Say you forgive me. I forgive you, Emily. She sobbed. Then why can't you stay? Because forgiveness doesn't mean returning to pain, I said. Forgiveness means releasing it. She stared at me like the words had shattered something inside her. I don't want to lose you. You already lost me, I said quietly. The moment you asked me to leave my own home, I think a part of me never came back. She pressed her hand to her chest. I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't see what he was turning me into. I know, I said, and I'm glad you see it now. But I can't be your recovery plan. She whispered, I'm begging you. I stood up slowly. Emily, look at me. She lifted her head. I'm not choosing revenge. I'm not choosing anger. I'm choosing peace. And peace doesn't come from reopening the same wound. Her tears fell hard and fast. So this is goodbye. It's closure, I said. For both of us. She rose unsteadily to her feet. I loved you, Ethan. I still do. I know, I said. But love alone isn't enough anymore. She walked to the door, paused, and looked back at me, broken. I hope someday you understand how much I regret everything. I already do, I said. But regret doesn't rebuild what's gone. She nodded weakly, opened the door, and stepped out. For the first time in months, I didn't run after her. I didn't apologize. I didn't collapse. I just breathed. And in that breath, I felt something powerful. Closure. I carried my last box into the small apartment and set it on the floor. The place was quiet, clean, and mine. I stood in the center of the room and whispered, "I guess this is home now." It felt strange, but it felt right. At work the next day, Hannah Moore noticed the change in me. She walked over to my desk and said, "You moved, didn't you? I can see it in your eyes." "Yeah," I said. "New place. New start." She smiled gently. "Good. You needed space to breathe." I nodded. "It's different. Peaceful, actually." "Want company at lunch?" she asked. "No pressure. Just talking." "Talking sounds fine," I said. We sat outside during lunch. She opened her container and said, "You look lighter." "I feel lighter," I replied. "Like something finally let go." Hannah tilted her head. "Was it the breakup? Or everything around it?" "Both," I said. I kept trying to save something that was already falling apart. She hummed softly. "Sometimes the bravest thing is stepping away." I didn't feel brave, I admitted. I felt broken. "Broken people still grow," she said. "Sometimes faster." I looked at her. "You always talk like that." She laughed. "Only when someone needs to hear it." Her presence wasn't heavy. She didn't dig or force anything. She just listened. It felt new to have someone around without walking on emotional glass. Later that week, she helped me carry a small shelf into my apartment. "You really did start over," she said, looking around. "I had to," I said. "Too many memories in the old place." She placed the shelf down. "Well, it feels peaceful here." "It does," I replied. "For the first time in a long time." She glanced at me. "Are you okay?" "Truly." I took a breath. "I'm getting there." She nodded. "That's enough." After she left, I sat on the floor, surrounded by half-open boxes. I didn't feel rushed to organize. I didn't feel pressured to impress anyone. I just let myself exist. My phone buzzed once, Emily's name. I didn't open the message. I put the phone face down and exhaled. The silence didn't feel empty anymore. It felt earned. I stood by the window and watched the light stretch across the room. I whispered to myself, "I'm still here. I made it through." For a moment, I thought of everything that happened. Liam, Emily, the pain, the confusion, the guilt. But the thoughts didn't choke me anymore. They passed through me gently, like distant shadows. I said quietly, "I didn't lose my bedroom that day. I lost myself. But now, I'm finally finding who I am." I sat down again, letting the quiet fill the space. My thoughts drifted back to the moment everything fell apart, but instead of feeling shattered, I felt distance. I murmured, "Maybe this was supposed to happen." A soft knock sounded on the wall. Ryan checking in through the open door. "You settling in?" "Yeah," I said. "More than I expected." He nodded. "You seem different." "I am," I replied. "I'm choosing myself." "About time," he said with a grin. "Proud of you, man." "Thanks," I said. "Really?" He stepped back. "Holler if you need anything." When he left, I leaned my head against the wall and whispered, "This is the beginning, not the ending." I closed my eyes and breathed deeply, feeling something I hadn't felt in months: hope. I opened my eyes slowly and let the quiet return around me. "I'm not broken anymore," I said softly. "I'm becoming someone new." And for once, the future didn't scare me at all.